'cause they've lived it all, and they'll walk with you. Jackie and Gail, just love, just real. Two voices of grace that help you heal.
Hey, welcome back to Raw. Restoring Awesome Warriors. I'm your host, Jackie H, and I have here my co-host, Gail Barron, the judge. How you doing today, sis?
I'm doing well with yourself.
Okay, sunshine out there today. Last night it was storming. You know, a lot of people's underwater and trees down and
Yeah.
everything. So I'm thankful today. I know we need the rain and everything, but goodness gracious, I don't need a tree. But you know where I was at, right?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was thundering last night, y'all. So I'm not a fan of thunderstorm. I have a lot of windows in here. So I was near the bathroom. Bathroom got one small one. And I shut the door, so I was over there praying. How you make out anything damage or anything happen? You good?
Not this time.
Okay,
Not this time.
okay. I'm hoping
No.
everyone
Yeah.
made out through it, and we can look for some better days. You
This
know.
has been a weird kind of year. Like we had more rain
Yeah.
this year seems like than anything.
Right. Right. I can deal with the rain. I can deal with
Yeah,
the
with
rain.
the
And it
storms.
was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but it's that type of year, and God is still in the blessing business. He's doing
Yes
what
it is.
he's cleaning the earth, the snow for the winter and I guess the rain for the summer. But we're thankful. Well, we're here today again, sis. We're here
Yeah.
today. I don't know if you know about this special guest we got today, but
A real interesting one.
a real interesting one. Okay, well we ain't gonna belong it. We're gonna get right into it, and we're gonna talk to this sister today. You go ahead and read the bio what you have, and then we're gonna bring her up.
Well, her name is Ligne Pastel. She was born and raised in Philadelphia. She currently is employed at Philadelphia School District, and this is the first time I ever heard this word,
Para.
a paraprofessional. So when we bring her on, she'll be able to explain to me, the rest of you that don't know what that is.
Yeah.
She had been in the early childhood education field for 16 years, and this outcome has allowed her to help children build confidence, build social skills, and to navigate successfully in society. She purposely aligned her personal philosophy with the Word of God because any decision, choices, and actions made by her daily won't be contaminated, and any bad experience that do occur, she can remind herself by the Word. So scriptures like Philippians 3:13 remind her to have a deliberate choice to let go of the past so it doesn't hinder her present or future. John 15:4-5 reminds her to stay connected and to stay close to God. Isaiah 41:10 reminds her that God's promises to always be with us and to give us strength when we are weak. Ligne serves as a faithful servant in ministry at Word of Faith Outreach and Deliverance Ministries under the leadership of Apostle Barron H. Lampkin and Pastor Patricia Lampkin, along with a great team of leaders. She is passionate about art and the process of being creative, whether it be with painting or worshiping with flags, because art comes in many forms, but is mastered by God Himself. She learned that the gift of expression gives freedom, but only when guided by the Holy Spirit. She plans to hone in on her gifts and the things she loves to do and share what she knows under the guidance of the Holy Spirit. So, you take it away, Jack.
Well, without no further ado, we're going to bring on this woman of God, Miss Lene Pastel.
Yay!
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you
Listen,
for having me.
I know we when we went on the retreat, this is where I met her at
In May.
in May.
End of
So
May.
I got the pleasure of meeting you in May, and I was excited because I saw a woman working on the setup, the setting up everything.
The AV, like,
You was doing the mics and everything that y'all had there. So that's something that I was always been interested in. So I start talking to her. I said, "What are you doing? Do you train?" The
oh, you
first
see, that was at the church, though. Remember,
that was
yeah.
at the church. Okay,
The
I
first
know.
time I remember, yes.
Okay, and that's what caught my interest. I didn't know nothing else she did, but that
Okay.
caught my interest of what she's doing. So I got a chance to meet her then, and then we went to the retreat, and it was awesome. So we're glad to have you. Thank you for gracing us and honoring us to have your
It's an honor
presence.
to be here. I
Yeah.
love you and your sister. I just love. I always remember the right sisters when y'all used to come to the, we had our anniversaries and y'all would sing. I was amused. I was interested in that. I wasn't all about that because I said these women could sing and play instruments. So
Okay.
I was all because on my father's side, this music they play instruments.
Okay.
I don't play instrument, but you
So I
know,
knew. So you knew us. You knew me from back then.
um,
Oh, in
just
public.
coming here a couple times that
Okay.
you
Well,
always
tell her that I don't never.
what did you,
I I'm trouble. I am trouble. I can look at somebody and see them, and then they say, "I saw you." I was like, "Okay, thank." And
But
I
she
know I'm
she
very.
also assisted with the painting with the twist.
Yeah, you had to tell me that.
she don't remember that either.
No, I'm trouble.
You talk about now whose house
You.
was it?
It was
Our parents'
our
house.
parents' house,
Okay,
and
because
you
it was in
came.
North
Yeah,
Philly.
and she said that's the same. I said
She
okay.
don't
I
remember.
don't remember, but anyway, I knew you was always pleasant. I always remember pleasant and nice people. So we're glad to have you. So Miss Renee, I always start off with she read the bio, but I'm not going to start with the bio. We start with something simple, and I want to know who you were at the age of 10 through 16.
Who I was?
Yeah, were you a bad girl? Were you a church girl? Were
Oh,
you hard headed? We
definitely.
want to know all
I
like.
definitely, I definitely wasn't a church girl.
Okay, so who was Miss Renee at 10 between the age of 10 and your teenage? Who?
10 and 16, I was just still. I wasn't a bad girl, but I was just somebody that was curious. I didn't hang around a lot of bad people.
Okay,
I actually was around a lot of people that were older than me for some reason. I always drawn to people that were older. So I
okay.
mean, I had friends that like school friends that I grew up with. Actually, I just still have one friend, but maybe two. But yeah, I was
Just a
just
regular teenager.
yeah, just a regular teenager,
Okay.
but
You weren't
curious.
like me and Gail sneaking out the house and crawling on our knees, getting out sneaking out at night. No, you weren't doing
Oh,
nothing
I
like
ain't sneak out. I was scared.
that.
No,
Okay, okay,
I
okay.
was
All
scared.
right.
You have siblings? Or only
Yes, I have
child?
one sister, two sisters, but one that lived with me, and two brothers.
Okay, was it
Okay.
a Christian home?
No,
No Christian.
not when we were little. My mom used to take us, but then she fell out the church, and then
Okay, okay, all right.
she found her way back though. And
Okay,
I was that was the one thing I was grateful for because I was always able to see. You know how you see somebody's walk. She got sick. She had cancer, but but I
Okay.
watched her walk when she even went back to Christ, and that even when she passed, it still stayed with me because I
okay,
got to see somebody walk, and I always had a curiosity. I was always with her. Always in the car with her, over everywhere. So I would see, and then I was like, oh, I'm curious. And what does that mean? I would hear scripture or hear a song. She always sang. Always
okay,
plays. And there. Before she died, when she rededicated her life back to Christ.
okay. So
So
when did you start getting into church or whatever? Like when is it came real to you? What
it
age
came.
was that?
It came. Well, when she passed, I probably was like 23, 24, something
Okay,
like that. So after she passed, it was a hard, year, that first year. But then everything came to me. I was able to reach out to my father in his church, which was part of their church too. And
okay,
I just said, I just got tired of trying to deal with the loss on my own. So
okay,
I said, I need to just come to church. I called him up. I said, I got to come to church because I knew I was empty inside. I missed her, but I was
hmm,
empty,
yeah,
and I didn't. I was ran out of ways to deal with it myself. So I just I said, I got to come to Christ. I
Okay.
got to. Yep. And I went to church, and they apostolic, heavy apostolic.
Okay.
And they still in North Philly.
Okay.
17th Apartment, Church of Living God in Christ. So
So that was your savior
yes.
on that. Okay. Well, that's a good thing, Gil, because some people turn to other things,
Yeah.
drugs, and so they can't deal cope with grief, and so that's a blessing that the Lord led you that way instead of another way.
Yes.
You got anything before I keep on going?
No, you get into the
Yeah, but I would
bio
like
now.
I want to, huh?
Are you finished with her younger?
Yeah, because she went up to 23. So so I wanted to know, how did she get into her profession?
Yeah.
Like, how long? You say you've been working 16 years in the school. Was that your first job, or that's how did you?
Not yeah. When I just took a job. I don't think I was trying to work part time, but I was still in school. I was at went to community, um, but I just needed something to help me
Get by.
get by. So when
Okay.
I worked at looked for a job. I was still in school, so I worked part time half the day. Went to school at the daycare, but it was uh I can't even remember the name of it.
It's okay. So your part-time job was daycare.
Yeah, when I
Oh,
first,
okay.
I just did it to, supplement my income and,
Yeah.
So is that what you went to school for?
no, but
Okay.
it seemed like, I went to school I got associate in criminal justice, but those two, I mean, like, because working with kids, I always thought in my mind, I said, it's somewhere in there because I can help children. Starting out at that age, young, and then, you can, I was able to let's share with them, understand them, try to interact with them, and I said, to me, I was like, it's not going to be a thing where, because they do have services for in criminal justice service, just for to help youth in trouble.
So you had that love before you went to school for you,
Yeah, I
or
did. I actually
really?
did. I just didn't know. I just like I found out more about it once I started working with in childcare. I didn't think that it was,
Okay.
like something that would you know, lead me
Interesting.
to where I am now.
Okay.
But I always thought it was because I know it takes a special person. You got to have patience, a certain amount of kindness, and really with kids and children
But you were
anyway.
drawn to it.
Yeah, I just because and then it's a funny thing because I don't have children on my own, but I've always been around children, and
Okay.
I was easy to relate to, assist them, to help them. You know.
So it seems like from your bio that you're drawn to problem children.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ones that needed a little additional help. Because I
Mhm.
noticed through your bio is it's like you wanted to help them build confidence, social
Yes.
skills.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah.
So tell me what you learned about children that you can be able to tell, like parents, teachers. Um, I will go as far as saying pastors, church, in studying that. What is it that we don't know about children? What is it that could be helpful? Because some people just don't know. Every child is not bad. Somebody might, maybe they just need a little love. Maybe they need. What is it that you learned through what you did?
Well, that's a starting point for me when you said just needing a little love, because you can, like, and it be the ones that are trouble, but once you get to understand them, you have to understand them. Means when you spend time with them, just like they say, you got to spend time with Christ.
Yeah.
You understand and you watch their behavior because in childcare you always was observing children because the one thing was safety. In childcare, you want to be in a place where they feel safe, and you want to provide a place for them to feel safe. Well, one of the things is you got to always watch and observe. So that was one thing that helped me and I learned. Always watching and observing because you learn, and then some kids might get frustrated, they can't communicate well, they physical. So it's different things that go on, but you learn as you watch.
Wow.
And then you got to have, that you said, some TLC. You got to see, no, baby, don't do that. It's a way that you could talk to a child just to show them this is not the way. Let's do it this way. But it takes option and learning that kind of person, seeing what that child likes, see what they into, what they don't like, why they don't like it, and then a lot of it is communication with parents, and then your other coworkers, because it might be somebody else around you that you work with that along with that you see that can observe and say, yeah, I seen that, I noticed that about him, but you share, you try to troubleshoot, and then you come up with the best solution for that child. Being honest is one thing. Just be honest, even when you're talking to the parents, because they might not see it. With children at daycare, they're around you all day. The parents are at work, so they more around you most, so you get to know them.
Let's hold up for a minute. She's saying a mouthful here.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's this relationship.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You don't know someone when you don't have a relationship.
Right.
You said you observe.
Yep.
You gotta pay attention to the signs.
Mm-hmm.
Every child that cries is not because they just want it.
Mm-hmm.
My mother always told us,
Right.
check and see if they wet, check and see if they hungry.
Yep.
Some people don't observe anything. How do you function? How do you know me? You know how I know I want to talk to you? Because I observed you.
Yeah.
Right. See, so that's, you can see
It was the interest.
Pay attention.
Pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
I saw how you was moving.
Mm-hmm.
I said, she's a helper. I wouldn't know that if I was just moving.
Right.
So that's a key point right there. You got to pay attention.
Right.
You have to have an interest.
So are you in the class, or are you like a social worker, or work in that capacity?
I'm in the classroom because the paraprofessional is like a teacher's assistant, but you're assigned to a one child,
Like a one-on-one.
that you yes. And
Okay.
you just, once again, you have an opportunity to learn that child, because just like the school year's already started again. So I don't know once I get there, I would know which child I have. They have to get familiar with me. I have to get familiar with them. They have to get familiar with their environment, the teacher, the classroom. So it's a lot of things that come into play that you would say, it's still communication, observing. You might get some things that is written down. The parent might fill out something so that the teacher can know.
Right. So you're not privy to that before they start.
Not until I, get the assignment, and then
Yeah.
there is the paperwork that the teacher I have some access to know about what the child likes, what they don't like, what triggers them, especially because it's special ed.
Wow.
So it might be things where they don't talk.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned from kids that don't communicate, can't verbally speak, they get a aid, like a little tablet to help them talk emotions, and they can describe stuff. It just helps them navigate their day. And that's all you be there for, is just to help them get through their day.
Wow. Gail? This is all in going through my spiritual walk. We talk a lot of, this is what I see was lacking when I came up, in different things. You didn't observe. She said just now, it's a new environment for them too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All that need to be taken in consideration. And if you don't have that grace,
Right.
if you don't have that force, you can mess someone up.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
What if you just had a bad day today? The child already coming with their issues,
mm-hmm.
and you having a not so bad day. We call it sensory overload, where you could tag out.
Right.
Like if your day ain't goes, okay, maybe I need you. But if you don't even have that mindset, you mess up a lot of people.
Yeah.
You can mess up anything when you don't know. How we fix this? How do we fix this where it can go across the board of fixing?
But it'll take some. She said, the assignment, and that's what is missing. Everybody don't know the assignment or understand the assignment, whether it's a child, whether it's adult. And then sometime, or a lot of time, you need that one-on-one. even in school or whether you're in church, hearing messages, you still need someone to walk with you. You still need
See
that
that?
one-on-one to help you get not through the month, not through the year. She said, I'm here to get you through that day.
Right.
Let me get through this day, then I can get through the next day.
Mm-hmm.
But you need a coach
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
or a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
You need somebody
Yeah.
because you don't. No one understands everything all the time.
Right. Right. So Miss Lene, um, do you think you could do this job without a heart for it?
You can,
Okay,
but
let me explain to
okay.
you. When my dad took sick, and I started staying at the hospital with him during the day. So when I come in the morning, they tell me Poppy was on the floor up under the bed. It was a whole lot of stuff on, and I was like, "You up under the bed? What's going on?"
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Would I be able to stay with him at night to just watch him?"
Yeah.
When I sat there and watched him, when I saw the nurses, some of them, it was just a job to them. It wasn't no care at all. I heard about it talking, how much they make, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You took the job because of the pay grade,
Right.
but your heart wasn't in it. I think certain jobs you have to have a heart,
Yeah.
unless you'll just be doing it.
I agree. Yep.
So how do you just take a job like that and don't anything? There's unplanned parenthood. There's things that just goes on that people just do it. It comes with something
Yeah.
that you have to have for the nourishment and the care for a person. But if you don't know, you're just doing it. So what I heard throughout her talking, she said I had to care from younger. When you was young, you had that care. Then you started off in the daycare, probably grew your care.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you didn't feel it, either you was going for the money or you'd have quit.
Yeah.
That's it. Exactly.
Yeah.
And
So
so, speaking from a young parent's view, because even back when I was having my kids, they had welfare to work.
Mm-hmm.
They they wanted you to go to work, so they they took care of your barriers. But it's much harder now, even to get assistance, like welfare. So you got these young girls. They have to do something to keep up with their benefit. That's the stipulation to keep up their benefit. So they put them in daycare or whatever. They're not. They're the mother of the children, but they're not parents. So whoever have them, they'll have them more in a day, like whether it's 8 hours,
Mm-hmm.
10 hours,
Mm-hmm.
because counting traveling time,
Right.
the time they did, the time you pick them up. So
Mm-hmm.
they're with the daycare worker the majority of that time. And sometimes that's the only training that those kids will get, especially when they're toddlers, infants. We was getting them at 6 months
Right.
until they age out.
Mm-hmm.
So our faces, they knew more than the parent is what we taught them. Now we the daycare workers and we come and popping gum and not in
well, that's what I was speaking
yeah,
to. You have
Not
to
showing
have
the interest.
you have to have an interest
yeah,
for certain jobs. I just believe you should have an
yeah,
interest for. It shouldn't even be about everybody want to get paid. Everybody want, but if you don't even have a care for that, so this is what I hear her say. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
even in working in you say working in church, you had the gifts of helps. Your character will tell you where you
yeah,
belong. You have to have some. So speak to even what you do naturally in your church or wherever you how do you get to do what you do? How did you get on that equipment that you operate?
That
Because I asked you, could you train me? You said I'm
I
feeling
was
my
like,
way.
yeah, I was like, I'm still learning on my own. But I was I later that day when I remember I had a thought, the
Mhm,
Holy Spirit said, well, what's wrong? Why can't you show somebody else?
mhm,
Share with what you know. Because I feel like I'm looking at it, oh, I'm just nobody. I'm just here to help. And I just know. No, I think you had said something to me that made me spark to say, well, why wouldn't you be able to share what you know? Is it that if I'm thinking how small it is, oh, I'm not this, but I'm not knowing. That's what I said before. You never know what a person sees when they see you. They see something different. That's when I asked you, and I said,
And
"You
she
sure?
said, "What you sure you want me on the podcast? What
You
what I
sure?"
got?
But
Like you don't
have,
even know. You inspired.
but I
That was
had
in
to,
spirit.
and that made me think about my worth and my value because I said I
Mhm.
can't downplay that. I
Right.
have worth and value,
Right.
Yes.
and I do have some knowledge,
Right.
about you know
You, you
what I
have something to
do.
offer, no matter how small it is. Somebody need what you have.
So one
Yeah, yeah.
thing she said, she incorporates her natural training, but with the word of God.
Mhm.
Right.
So that, because if she didn't have that part governing her emotions, her speak, her behavior,
Mhm.
and everything, that keeps her in check to how she deals with the children.
Yeah. But
So
some people don't have that. So what do they have? If some people don't have the word of God, so I guess they just misusing people. Like I ain't being funny. I'm just saying you're based by God, but there's some people doing this job. They don't even believe in God. So how do they treat the people? You just got to have good morals. But there's a lot of people that's taking care of
But
your
I see your
kids.
point. What if they don't have it? And go ahead, Gail. 'Cause
That's I want to talk to every kind of order because everybody not in God.
yeah, I,
So
I
exactly.
believe that you still need the heart. Some people do have the heart. Hers is just different because she lived by the
the
word.
word, yeah, and that's yeah,
I met some good people
yeah,
who are in it just because they love children.
yeah.
They want to see children progress.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Then some is just there for the paycheck.
Right.
So they in the bathroom on the phones,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when you find somebody that's into it, they gonna study to how can I make your life
Yeah.
better. I noticed in her bio, she talks about the things that she do aside that with her hands, like she does painting, and she talks about what the painting does.
Yeah, she did that at the retreat too.
And it shifts the
And
atmosphere.
she and you was your spirit goes along with it. Don't
Yeah,
worry about what you paint, just paint.
just paint.
You didn't make us feel like we wasn't good enough or
Yeah,
whatever. Just put whatever you feel like on the paper. I remember the lady with the hole, the black hole.
Oh, that was
Y'all,
yes.
y'all made her feel good about the whole. But you need that person that
right.
has. So I want to go into something else that she does, and it might tie into this too. You do flags.
Mm-hmm.
You do worship with at ministry with the flag. How that tie in? Tell me first of all. I'm new at this. What do
What
the
you say?
flags? What did that worship like? Tell me about it. I don't know what it
What,
means. I say a lot of time I go to church and they have like I have no idea
and most
what it
people,
means.
I didn't. I'm just talking from experience because I was when I didn't know. First of all, the woman of God had came to me, passed the lamp, and she told me. And I remember she said, God told her, "You're, anointed the flag." I didn't know anything about flags, and I told her, "No, I was, And it took me a while. I took babies. I dragged my feet. I waited a whole year, but she was persistent in showing me. She didn't know either, but she was being obedient to what God said, and she would send me videos, teachings, everything. And I started watching, and then because that what got me, because I said, "No, not me, God," because somebody tell you you're called for this, and I'm like, "You sure?"
Well,
But
can you tell me what it is? Like in short, just tell me what to do it represent. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm being
you,
honest.
you're. I look at it this way. We have spiritual, in the world, spirit realm and natural. But the enemy, I know that this word says that he has power in the air. He doesn't have a lot of authority, but he is the prince of the power of the air. We're talking about
Hmm.
the enemy. So that means the air that we in, the atmosphere that we operate in every day, don't matter where you at, how you live, what you do, your job. You be in line at the supermarket, you be in your car. whatever, you have authority. And this would make me know the difference. And I had to be taught by the Holy Spirit, and he was persistent in doing it. But you take over the atmosphere. This is what, so certain smooth strikes, movements that you do, and basic moves when you do flags, it's this. It's the risk. But you're taking over the authority already given to us by the enemy.
So it's like warfare.
It's warfare. Because this is, and I had, and the Holy Spirit taught me, but it was also me looking. It's not about, it is certain moves that you do, and there's certain teachings, but it's also, because even it says in the Bible, it was different things that they used. They call it banners, not flag.
Right.
It was
Right.
a banner, like it was certain. It was for war.
You're right.
For identifying their
Right.
given the location for things. When I think it was with Moses, it said, I was looking on my phone to Moses when he's defeated the I can't say Amalekites.
Okay.
When in that place that he did, because back then they always memorialized where they had victory or if they had any visitation from, but that's what he did, and he said, the banner is over me. But that's what they, it was used for different things. But now today, modern times, it is for, I see it as you're in warfare in the atmosphere. We coming against the prince of the power of the air. So we counterattack.
Okay.
And it's not just about, and it's also, you got to know your word. You got to be in relationship with Christ. You got to feed your spirit. You got to stay in the word. You have to even, when you do worship, it's music. You can sing. It could be worship, could be a song. You can use your own voice,
but it's your
which
life.
is better. Yeah, it's a lifestyle that you would have to have. Yes,
you had to have.
It's a lifestyle because you have to continually be. We always in warfare, but I already know. I was just saying something I read earlier that says that the fight is fixed. But sometimes we always need reminders. Somebody that don't know that's sitting in. You can break. When people come to church, you don't know what heavy weights, that they have on them. But some things God can move when you're being obedient, but you got to be clean heart, clean hands, staying, and then he will direct you and move you. He will take over the air,
You know what gets me, what's interesting to me that I'm not afraid to ask. There's a lot of things. I've been in church all my life, and I couldn't tell you why we do stuff because we were just told to be obedient.
Right.
I like to know the history of why, what it represent. Like you just see people doing things, and I accept it, but I have no clue. So that's explanation to me. That reminded me of the military. We had a flag that stance. We've been there. Everybody had their own thing. So what I heard her say that the banner. So in the military, we carried the flag.
Right.
It was represented something.
Right.
So that made sense to me. But I saw people do it. I love praise dance and all that stuff. But sometimes I never knew why. What was the meaning behind it?
So
thank you.
So that's why we ought not to knock something before we get to the point of understanding, because it's a lot of things like people just think it just don't make no sense, or because they don't know the history behind it. Is like you said, it's a part of worship, but what people don't understand, worship brings out the vulgarness. So with the banner, with the flag, like she said, it's counteracted.
Mm-hmm.
Because just because you may have a pure heart, you don't know the person next to you or the next two. So you don't know what kind of spirit or what they're coming in with. And you ought to have an intercessor, somebody who is skilled, that can see,
So
a seer,
you set the atmosphere.
setting the atmosphere, because worshipers open the portals, but you open the portals for everything. You're gonna have pure worship, and then you're gonna have the devil come and worship too. You need somebody that can decipher and can counteract. But we are not things. I remember when my our brother used to come and tell mommy, Assalamu alaikum. And she said, get out of here with that stuff, not knowing that only thing he's saying to you is peace be unto you. But because it's foreign to us
Right.
and we don't know it, we think something is wrong or we're knocking.
Yeah, I don't think nothing. I'm not the type of person to think something wrong, but I just go along with the program.
No, I'm not talking about you, but
no,
a
I
lot
know,
of
but
people
I'm saying
do.
You're talking about your person. You just go
Yeah.
along with the program.
I just go along with the program. But I think a well-informed person,
Yes.
at least you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
I see things, but because I wasn't interested in church when I grew up, a lot of things went over my head. I'm just, this is raw. This is the raw part.
Okay,
So
that's the
I'm
raw part.
telling
Okay,
the truth.
right.
There's a lot of people that probably won't say it, but some people just go. They don't. They
They
just there.
just
Yeah, but it's a meaning, and like you say, you counteract. You probably counteracted me. I probably was the demon back in the day. You probably was doing that. It's funny, but it's like sometimes thank God for those people who know, because you don't know what coming into your
You
atmosphere.
don't
you
know.
don't, and you
And
gotta yeah.
Yeah,
And then like it could be heavy, and that's another thing. We set the atmosphere because if it's heavy, and then the person that's ministering, the man of God, the woman of God,
yeah.
you can't go into the word or whatever you want to do for God wants you to do, and it's hard. It's
hard.
it's war. You're still fighting. It's really hard. So you do it. I understand you guys set the atmosphere.
and that's what even what you do for the kids. You're making the atmosphere. You said use word safe.
Hmm.
It's the same thing. You're giving them a safe atmosphere that they can learn. Because other than that, if they coming from a home that's turmoil,
Hmm.
and then you come into the daycare with and classroom with 10 other children, that's
There you go. The
the
atmosphere,
same
right?
thing.
You are absolutely right.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how your day go? How your day go during the school year? I would like to know what you do after you come home, or set. Well, what's your day start off in the morning? You must have to do warfare in the morning.
If it's a lifestyle, like I said, you got to pray. First of all, you got
What
to
time do you
pray
get up?
because
Oh my God.
early sometimes when the Holy
Yeah.
Spirit wake me up. But you got to pray even when you go to drive to get in your car because people drive. You got to pray. You don't, like you said, you don't know what you're going to walk into. Even if it's a day when, and I've done had them experiences. You walk into your classroom because usually how it is you meet the child, they get off the bus, and then you assist them. You go to your classroom, you and the teacher, you meet up. They had a routine, but like I said, in the beginning of the year, they don't know the routine, but they had a routine. But you just you don't know what that day is going to be. You don't know what you're going to walk into. You don't know what you're going to walk into. You don't know how they did, or you don't know how their night was. So it's trigger. And then some kids are triggered. Some kids are up all night. Some kids don't sleep. So you don't know what you're going to get. Like I said, from one day to the next.
Okay.
Let's get
So
through this
your
one
morning
day.
start off with prayer, eating right. What
Well, I
what
make sure I get enough rest. I'm prayed up.
pray.
You
Okay.
know, I really have to because you don't know what might come up. And while I'm there at work, I might pray. I always have my something that I can read, something scriptures I can read. So if I got a warfare and I'm saying it out loud, they don't know I'm just talking. They don't even know. I can come in and before they even touch, hold down my hands and touch things and pray over the children's seat, every child where they sit at. They don't, you just
They don't know.
set the
You set
atmosphere.
the atmosphere.
That's what we was
Yeah.
talking about the
We
other
talked about the
day.
other day.
You don't have to be loud with it. They don't
No.
have to
Yeah.
know what you're doing. Long
You
as
know
it's
it.
in you, you know it, and
Mhm.
come against
Right.
anything that can interrupt the day.
And your day is over. How you take it down?
Um,
Is it another routine or is it just the same?
well, because you are like, for us, even with what I do when I come off the job, I'm involved in my church and ministry. Like they have, we week during the week,
Shout your church
Bible
out,
study.
sister. Shout your church. What
Word
church?
of faith, outreach, deliverance ministry, in Darby, Pennsylvania. Apostle Lampkin and Patricia Lampkin.
Yeah,
This is
20,
our
21 Main
overseer.
Street,
Yes,
Darby, right? Okay. So you got stuff to do. Do you ever feel like I don't feel like it today? Like
I'm just days that I have, and some days that
so
I don't
you
even want to get up out of the bed. Yeah, but even
okay?
I'm human. I'm just going stuff gonna come on me, and I feel I really don't feel like it. But what's the one thing that gets me through? I always say because I'm so used to, um, I'm not gonna say just a routine, but I talk to God. I just say, Lord, I tell the truth. I really don't feel like it today, but what gets me going? I said because I know that the teacher got to go forth, but I said, I just encourage myself quietly, get real. I'm getting ready, and then next thing you know, I'm already started. I'm moving, and but I do enjoy. We have prayer on Tuesdays from 7 to 7:30 because our live stream runs from 7:45 to about 8:30.
Okay.
And then we have do prayer from Thursdays from 7 to 8.
Okay.
But that's a lot of another thing that is something that I can do. I can look forward to. That especially the prayer. I love our prayer because I know it's coming. Sometimes I like to hear different people, because it does something. And I hear it always go back to the atmosphere, the air, because it's when you pray out and you hear other people praying, it just rejuvenates, encourages you. I might have been feeling this way, but by the time prayer is over, I'm okay. Like I feel a little different. And it's the same thing when we have our monthly once a month, first Friday in the month, our midnight prayer. That helps too. Because I've seen, and I've always said it because I think I talked to my sister and I was like, sometimes when we get off, it could be 1 o'clock to, I can't go back to sleep.
Okay.
I
You do it
just
online.
we do it live
Okay.
on Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know why that person did invent Zoom when we was coming up as kids? I like this era.
You
No, I'm
like
just
this
joking.
era?
It's a blessing to have both. But I remember our first um, overnight shut-in.
Right.
I took a pillow, a blanket. I went to go to sleep. I was a
You
kid. We was teenagers. We
you
were
didn't
just
know.
mad because we was had to be
Had
there.
to go.
But I went fully prepared to go to bed. So around about 1 o'clock or 2 or 30, they're gonna ask you to get up and sing a song. We stayed there from 12 midnight to 6 in the morning. So I come a long way because I was angry about a lot of
Yeah,
this stuff. She glad I'm saved.
I'm so proud of her.
Yeah.
I'm so
So
proud.
I'm that
Oh
one
my
that I'm
God.
listening now, and I'm listening with thankfulness that they raised us and brought us up in the right way. They
Right.
say it won't depart. Guide them and lead them,
Hmm.
train them in the way they should go. But I was that one, like I didn't. We just got out of school Friday afternoon.
So you was like,
Friday night, we talking about an overnight. That's all
No,
night. So
they came with their lunch.
lunch.
oh, this you,
Oh,
you said you
I
had
had the
your
blanket,
pillow,
the
your
pillow,
blanket.
and the food.
Mm.
And my dad was I think he was more embarrassed.
They would
He was
it was to
embarrassed.
be the store around the
Corner,
corner for us. There was
Chico's,
some good seafood,
Right.
and they be instead
and you
of
can smell it when we opened. It
oh
wasn't
my
like we had
God.
soft food that you don't like. This have a bologna sandwich or something. No, it was something that
You
fried
could, yeah,
chicken.
you
You
could
could
smell
smell
it.
it while
I'm like,
they
well,
put
everybody
it.
eating chicken, yeah.
So thank God for Zoom these days. But now that I'm older, I don't even mind doing. I don't mind going in and standing on that. And it's like, okay, you don't got old now. Your knees and stuff hurt. See, my mind go to stuff like that. So God had to really get me focused. So is there something you can tell me about focusing? He got to do me like you do the kid. I lose focus a lot on stuff.
And see, and that's probably because even with this, what we used to do, because some kids that couldn't sit still, they just couldn't focus. You sit with them, but you give them you separate them from everybody else, because you can still, and you would like give them a book, you can read with them, something, first of all, I can say, when you find out what they like,
Yeah.
if it could be a little toy car or a book. Oh, can you do this puzzle? I need help. Can you help me do this puzzle? I'll get engaged them, because that's what you always engage them,
Wow.
and then be like, I can't get. Oh, you're so. And then you'd be like, oh my goodness, I didn't know you were so smart. You start building it because you feed them the words to build their confidence. And it's and it will work.
How much you charge it to be a one-on-one for her?
I
Oh
was saying that
goodness.
would work with adults too.
Yeah.
It's not
And
appropriate just
it
for
does
children.
because you can see seniors like
Yeah.
some people just you gotta
Yeah.
get them
I've always had
grounded.
I think what you call attention deficit.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I can go for a little while. After a while, it's like, okay, this is enough. And that's even when I'm playing. If it ain't keeping me interested,
Okay.
I drift off. So yeah, it's she might could be my one-on-one that she got more time.
Okay, all right.
But
What is that?
it's you can you can apply this to anything
Yeah,
though.
yeah,
That's you're needed. That
yeah.
people with these skills are much needed, and people don't realize how much it is needed because we always want to think we have it all,
Right,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the natural part for me.
right.
Like she does a lot of the spiritual thing, and I glean from that. But
Mm-hmm.
what I see is if you can build up the natural part of a person, and some of these people, and I'm talking about myself, we have natural things that maybe somebody can pray for us, but it starts naturally. Like I can't pay attention. That's something natural. It might be someone called, the, pray over it, whatever that is, but you have to address it. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna ask
What's
you,
that pill you say to get?
huh?
What pill?
The Viva. What is it?
Naveem?
Put it your focus.
To help you.
They advertise it on a commercial.
Oh, that's for people who be quiet. You know,
Do you take it? Did you say
no, she trying to make me take some vitamins, but like it's something for your mind. Like people that's going into early Alzheimer's,
Yeah.
it's a natural medicine they have. But my question to you is, why do Christians? Because I'm coming from a Christian base, because that's where I was raised. Why are we denial about stuff? Like if you got a attention deficit, why can't you just say it? Why is it got to be just over the top spiritual about everything? Why can't we just tell God this is the problem and then okay, let me make sense what I'm saying. When we go to AA, I went to AA with my brother, Alcohol Anonymous, right? The first thing they have you to do in the class is acknowledge I am an alcoholic. Then you start the work.
All right.
It seemed like for me, Christians don't want to say I am whatever that is, and then God, here I am. The
I
it,
understand. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't understand why can't he already knows. Why can't you just be honest with him and say, Lord, I'm having a hard time with this or this, that. Why can't we tell him? Do we think we're not spiritual enough or we feel bad? I don't feel bad by telling you what I just told you. I can't pay attention.
You can be in denial.
And then that's another thing. Somebody. What if somebody's just in denial and they can't see that they?
Like if
Oh,
there's even parents that's in a denial
Mm-hmm.
that something's wrong with the child.
Yes.
They need a little extra help. And some
but is
adults
the
is
denial embarrassment? Like
it can be
you're
It can
embarrassed
be.
of
embarrassment,
It
and
oh,
can be
you know,
embarrassment.
okay.
and it's the same way with adults. If you don't want to, you're not gonna be honest with nobody else if you can't be honest with yourself.
Thank you. Yep. That's it. And you
You
can't.
have to, now, like you said, I got a problem with paying attention or my attention span. If you're not gonna be honest with yourself, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be
It's not gonna
hard
work.
for you to tell somebody else that can help you.
Right. It's,
And, go ahead.
that could be a hindrance. Just like you said, I was when you was talking, I was thinking about self-talk, your own self-talk. If you're not gonna be honest with yourself and tell, like you just said, it's just the self-talk. But how do you get the awareness about it? Just tell your truth to yourself, and then you can you tell it to, then you can say it to God.
And then what I found when I told the truth, you told me don't say that. So now I hide my truth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's somebody
So
that
if
doesn't
I say,
understand.
Sister Miss Sister Lene, I can't focus, and you say yes, you can. I told you what was
Yeah,
wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but your response was yes, you can. Don't claim that. I'm not claiming that. I'm just telling you the
that's your
truth.
truth.
Right.
So now I won't tell anything. I just deal with it.
Yeah,
I just hide it. So I might need counseling. I might need a
Right.
one-on-one.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
And like
asking.
how she does with the kids, she knows the problem. Um,
But what I want to know, did she do that to adult? Would you do that to adults?
I'm gonna
Like,
sign it to you.
if no, I'm being real. I know she's talking about me, but I'm really serious. Like, would you talk to an adult like that, or is it easier to talk to a child?
I would talk to a dog the same way. I would. Well, and then I was just, and then you got to, well, what do I do? Because what do you? That's part of you. You evangelizing, you witnessing to an
So it
adult.
comes up under that.
Yeah.
Okay. So the strategy is act like you evangelizing to tell them the truth.
No, don't act like it. You just tell them the truth. But you know,
Yeah, I would do. That's what she did
okay.
with that
So
scenario.
you straightforward.
With
Okay.
that scenario she made with that child. Um, I need you to help me. Can you help me? But she reeled them in. Then she gave praise. Some adults you gotta do the same way because although they are adults in age and weight, height,
Hmm.
their inner man has not been developed.
Thank
So
you.
they still acting like children. So you got to speak to
Mhm.
that child in them.
Because they're in that same place as
Yeah,
if they
they
was
just
that
ain't
same
grown
child.
up.
Yeah,
Now, do you think
exactly.
this is necessary in all places, church, schools, homes, work? Like some people divide stuff. Like we don't need that in this place. I
Everywhere.
think that that's something what you're doing. I think it needs to be everywhere.
Yeah,
It does need to
every
be accurate. It
where
needs to be
you're
everywhere.
at, that's where it's needed.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
God is
Yeah.
showing you, so it's where it's a need. Well,
Okay.
and even though more so now, because more people, so people, and if they don't want to talk about their emotions, or if they're struggling emotionally, or something that happened to them that they
Mhm.
carrying from childhood
Mhm.
into their adulthood, and they the way they are because you didn't get delivered, or you still sweeping it under the rug. You're not addressing it. Nobody addressed it for you to make it highly. But like I understand what you're saying. You don't want a person to feel shame, but you want to tell the truth so they can come, they can
Well, the
grow.
Bible says the truth will make you free.
Yeah. And you got to find
You
a
you you,
way.
you got to find a way. That's when you use wisdom,
Right,
but you got to tell the truth.
right.
But that's the only thing that can make you free or set you free. But it's embarrassment or don't know how. Sometimes I think people you had a lot of things that you had skills. It's the skill work that how you gonna
Yeah.
get it done.
The antidote.
I gotta get it done. So one child can do this way, the next child I can do this way. But if you don't have wisdom to
Yeah.
know how to do it, then you just leave people where they at.
Can you speak to the painting
Think about the painting.
and what it does
Oh,
for a person?
because it's therapeutic. It's an activity. It's you engage. Once again, the word engage.
Hmm.
You engage, and it's like and I remember when I used to oh, I can't think of her name, Pastor Francine. When I went for her, I would shadow her, and it was one place. She was a church in North Philly. And I thought it was nice because I'm learning about it. She knew I was assisting her, but I'm learning because you learn. Once again, you in the environment. She was at the church. There was some older people there, but it was a mix. And then it was some men. But some people were saying, like the men I watched, the one man asked me, could you help me? Because I don't know. I'm not into it. But it was the good learning ground for me because it's not just about the paint because you got to build that person's confidence
Yeah.
to say you could do this. It ain't hard. You could do this if you make it. You could do a straight line. You're fine.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it because it's saying when I looked it up, it's an activity that it actively engages your brain. It's working, reduces stress, and it
Hmm.
boosts your confidence, your emotional well-being. And when you mix colors, you can play around with paint. It's something about it that is relaxing, even when kids
Hmm.
do it, or when a grown person do it. And it helps you when you focus on the way you move the brush. Oh, I didn't know I could. Yeah, then you come to see that you could be doing something. I didn't know I could do that. Or then I like to see other people that when we were up at the conference, and I just said, you just freestyle, do what you want. But there's so many people, your personality you create, it was so beautiful to see what people can do. I said, wow, that's what I like about it. That
Did
was the
y'all
best.
see mine?
Is yours hanging anyway? What you do with your painting?
So it's the art of it that brings healing.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
the art that it brings. Go
Hmm.
ahead. What you got on your face?
Because and then I was saying when you paint or you focusing on you be because I've seen people you be focused. You was focused. I was watching. You get to engage with people and talk to them and walk around and you be focused, and it shifts your brain. Um, it shifts your focus from your worries, stress, to you know the lowering the lowering your cortisol. That's the stress hormone. It low because you're shifting it. You ain't focusing on your worries and problems. You just I'm so engaged, but it's nice, and it provides you don't be talking, you just you in the zone, and then you get to release the pent up emotions at the same
Is
time.
that good to be in the zone?
Yeah,
Okay.
because
Because some people like to talk while they're doing that thing. I'm that person that I was focused on you. I was in like
yeah, that's why I said
everybody.
you was focused.
Okay.
Some people like like you look back and say, "Wow," didn't or like our friend Minister Annette, she had that black hole,
Yeah, that was cute. That was funny.
but it was the fact that somebody was all of us was encouraging
Yeah.
her. She was able to fix it. You worked, if people came in and said, "Just do this," and somebody else offered to help, and then I came over and helped, and she changed.
Yeah.
And it was at the end of it, it was beautiful. It was
picture.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's
So
just the experiences.
it was mind freeing. Then it
Mhm.
was relationship. It was togetherness.
Mhm.
Out of that one thing
Yep.
that we did, it brought so much out of because when we first started, it was just a few of us that went over was going to
Mhm.
paint.
Mhm.
But after everybody saw so you can do things that somebody might not even want to do, but they see your engagement or see how you having fun. Now you got everybody on the same page. So some things are just all around just a good thing to have for gathering. So you still laughing at what?
My picture.
Well, I thought it
But
was about money and gold. It was
is
the
that what it
street.
was?
It was the streets of gold.
It was
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
I was
remember.
laughing. You asked what is it hung anywhere? My husband thought it was my. It's hung in my bedroom.
Okay, see.
Mine's on my dresser.
Okay, see. Yeah, that's why you never.
Yeah.
That's what I love
But
about.
if you,
Because it goes back to a moment for me. You
Okay.
say paint whatever you want.
yep,
Right.
So you have to come up with something, and that goes back to God gave us creative thinking.
right, right.
If you tap into it, you can think.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know what to draw. If you think long enough, you come up with something.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are some pictures they give you what to draw.
Right.
But that was neat to me because you
Yeah,
say draw what you want to draw. So everybody had to come out of their
yeah.
mind
Creativity.
and creativity. So
Yeah,
it showed what God gave us. So that's
and it was
that's
some
how,
beautiful pictures.
yeah.
It really
was.
is. Yeah.
It was
And it
And
was a
really
see,
fun.
I'm
And it was,
learning even as with that. It's like
yeah.
so many people like didn't know you had to use that form of your creativity. We all have it. God gave it to us.
Yeah. You
And
have
I work with seniors also. And recreation was not an option; it
Hmm.
was a requirement
Okay.
to get the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I had my stroke, we came up. We couldn't play cards,
Right.
but in therapy, cards was a way of getting my mind to focus.
Okay. Mm.
So again, when you don't understand the importance of anything, you'll knock it.
Right. Exactly.
Make bingo, cards, whatever. Do that because that's make your mind, you know, get everything has muscle memory,
Right.
and to get it rolling again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Play games. I never knew how much or important games was to your health.
Mm.
Again, we grown and know who wants to play games, but
Right.
if you know what it's good for,
Mm-hmm.
you will play
well,
it.
they got a study out now that even keep from Alzheimer's. They suggest you do it often
Mhm.
Okay.
before you even get to that stage.
Right.
Engage. It helps your mind
Your
to
mind.
think. Now I want to ask her. I'm going to go off the chain. If y'all want to put me out now, y'all better drink some water, do something. I'm getting ready. What do you do for fun? All this is fun. I mean, you love what you do. What do you have anything like? Do you read books? You go to movies? I mean, what is it? The fun side of Mister?
But I like to do my own. Well, it's a thinking for myself.
Okay.
If I
So you
if I
like
if I'm
painting?
out somewhere, if I could go to the store. I do like going to like Hobby Lobby because I know I get my supplies there. But I might see something, or I basically see something, even when because I'm always looking to say, wow, I could do that. I see and I could copy that. I could try that. I
So
want to
you're
try
fun to
that.
shopping?
Shopping too, but I like not that like I don't know nobody that don't like. You don't like to shop, but I like
And
to
I'm gonna
paint.
tell you a story behind it, but no,
You know,
no
Trauma.
trauma.
from
The trauma was as kids we went shopping, but the parents went in the store. We stayed in the car 2-3 hours
oh okay.
while they shopped.
So you
And then my lovely sister here, when she had her children, and my sister Darlene had their children, they have something they call window shopping. They had no money. They was planning for the next week when they get paid. But
Okay, see, I like that.
yeah, so
Well, I'm gonna come back and go back and see
but
this.
it was 3 or 4 hours window shopping.
Window shopping.
So today
No.
I'll shop online, or what aisle do you need to go in? Because that's where we're gonna go. We're not walking around the store.
Okay.
Is it aisle 3 or 4? So it's not about the shop. It's just it was just long
The trauma.
trauma for me. So I'm learning how to deal with stuff. So now I go and I have fun. I have to go shopping because I love to cook but that just walking around useless, like aimlessly, just like what? Well, why we
And
here?
then what about that? Because like what did you do when you go somewhere? What do you like? Like, okay, recently went to the Bible Museum, but that was a lot. I was engaged. It was oh my goodness, it was so much fun. I've never seen, but it's something that I like doing. I'm interested. I always like the Bible.
You like history?
People in the Bible.
In the
I like the
Bible,
Old
okay.
Testament. But I
So
had,
what the Bible Museum have? What is it? Like it has you walk around and look at stories or
well,
what?
because each floor has a beginning, and I took pictures, but it tells you how the Bible began, why the Bible. Each floor has a different
It
story.
speaks to you. Like
Well,
annoying
there's some
you?
things that you can do that you can stand in front of and sit around and you can sit and watch a video.
Oh, they like to show and tell.
Yeah, and then there was another experience we had where you
You know,
walk through.
you can hear the story.
You sat there. I thought it was so amazing. You would sit there, and you would hear the Bible story from the beginning. Then the part of it, you would get up and walk. They walked you through.
Okay, I could
And
do
sit down.
that.
Yeah, it was.
Do you remember the show and tell?
Do I remember the show and tell?
You ever had show and
Yeah,
tell?
yeah.
Where the still pictures just go up, it don't even move.
No, they even had videos when you got on the elevator. You seen nice, beautiful pictures.
I go there, Gail. Let's play the trip. I go to it's action.
Yeah, it's you are involved. Okay. It's a lot. You are really involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just having fun. I make a joke
I'm glad
out of
to
my own.
laugh.
I make a joke out of my own stuff because I used to have a lot of problems, but God is bringing me out a lot of things. I was my own hindrance. Didn't know how to navigate through a lot of things that I was just angry about, but they meant well, and I took it personally. So now forgiveness and all that. Church was trauma to me because our church was just different. What I felt was different. It was long, and as a child, I wanted to play.
Well, see, I'm gonna ask you about the question when you just said something this part because how did you navigate if you had, like, what did you do to get through? You said it was a lot, and just you had to go through forgiveness. Are you there? Are you still there?
I'm there. Yeah, I had to do a work. So after 18 years old, I haven't been back to a church since to 2010. So I left church in 1981. I graduated. So 1982 until 2010, I never belonged to a church until I started with she started a Bible class. So I'll visit, but it wasn't steady because it just was that for me. So I navigated through. I had to learn that from my parents. I learned that they did the best they could.
Mm-hmm.
They loved God, and it might have been how they saw it. But we came up in strict holders where we didn't have TVs, we couldn't go to movies, we couldn't do a lot of things. So that was my anger. It wasn't about church itself. I think if I could have done these things and still go to church, it would have been
different.
But that's all we had. So church was what my go-to. I was the musician. So we already went to church 3 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
So by me being a musician, I had to go to rehearsal. That was Thursday, Saturday. So all my time. That's how I felt. So now I go on my own terms. So the forgiveness came when I understood.
Okay.
Which was three weeks ago.
What? No, it wasn't. No, it was not.
3 weeks ago.
It was no 3. It was 3 weeks ago. I did some soul searching.
But you said you said you had to do your own. You had to understand.
I had to do it. I had to understand that they didn't know.
Right.
They did the best, and it took a lot of. I went to therapy. I personally went to therapy. Therapy.
Okay.
As I went to the military, and I went to therapy through military, and I prayed. I believed in what she told us about prayer. They was good parents.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just too long. So I think it goes back to my attention deficit.
Okay.
So I played music. So the first hour was music. The rest of it was preaching and listening to everybody testify in church. That was long. So that's why I got aggravated. Now we could have had more music or stuff. So we came to church 11 o'clock on Sunday. We didn't get out to 4. That's a long time.
That's a long time.
We had 2 hours of go ahead, Gail, say it.
I said
Testimony.
Wait a minute, 2 hours of testimony. Two.
everybody in the church.
Everybody in the church had to. It wasn't like you have a choice. Everybody testified. So my dad would stay up for 15 minutes. Another person stay up for 2. Another person is 20. Nobody set you down for a child. And like the day the kids got their phones and stuff, we didn't have that. So, so it turned me off from church. It had nothing to do with God. It had nothing to do with what my love. It was.
But she didn't know that wasn't God.
I didn't,
because everybody think church is God.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can be in that building but don't know God.
Mm-hmm.
So
nobody stayed in church. I didn't know I was that long, and it was boring.
Mm-hmm.
So to see me sitting in church and I enjoy it.
I've been trying to tell her how good it was. You know.
But she had to understand in her own way. Yes.
I used to get fidgety after somebody start if a pastor stay up more than an hour. It was, and he can have a good message. Afterwards, it's like, okay, that finger go up. I don't know what that meant, but it was time to leave.
Uh-huh.
But now I stay through the whole, so I'm getting better at that. But yeah, that's how I navigated through it. You just keep on trying. And people like, I don't do stuff all during the week. Now I'm on Bible study.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing different things. After I went to church Sunday, don't ask me. You'll see me next Sunday. That's that's how it was. Yeah. So you gotta make up your mind that you want to change. You gotta forgive, and you gotta see the importance of something and make it fun. So yeah, I've done a lot. Self.
I like that because it could be somebody watching or listening to say, "Well, I might be having that same issue."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To know
and then
how did
you can't tell somebody they don't love God because they don't like being in church long. It's two different things.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So I got that a lot. If it was something else, you would do it. No, I don't play long either.
Mm-hmm.
I had to like what I was doing for me to stay anywhere. That's even with stuff that I wanted to do. If it was boring, I leave.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't just I didn't love God. It was like anything that wasn't interesting. You had to hold my attention.
Right.
So yeah, so I tell people that don't be so judgmental to say what somebody don't like. See why they don't like it. See what's going on. So yeah, that's how I navigated through it. So now when I come to church, like I'm revved up for them already. Now if it goes past 4 hours, I don't know. I ain't got that. I haven't been to church yet. That lasted 4 hours. So I might do the disappear.
So do you have any suggestions, anecdotes
for?
Yeah.
She always want to do something.
No, because I want her to hold on to what she got.
Okay.
Because
what you got
with this attention thing, then she'll get bored. When it's something could be good for her, but she won't stick it. She won't stick to it because her mind,
All right, tell me. I'm open. What you got?
Because if it's something that you see yourself starting to get bored, you got to find somewhere to shift your focus. So I don't know. To tell you just to maybe you could just hum yourself a little nice, your favorite song or something while you're sitting there, or or just
it's a record bouncing back and forth.
Now, if you can, what she say?
She said, and start bouncing back and forth. What you get with this song?
Those of you who are watching, they're always picking on me, but I'm getting better. God has blessed me, so I have a coach here tonight. I didn't know this all she did, but God always send me what I need. So I'm thanking you for
He always send us what we need.
I'm thanking you for what you're saying because I think it goes for adults too, and I think people don't need to tune you out when you tell them the truth. If I tell you I got a problem,
right?
I don't care if you had to fake. Maybe like you heard me.
Yeah,
don't
see,
just
and that you understand me.
Yeah. So when I was younger, because I told the truth, how many times I went to hell? Because that's what they say. You're on your way straight to hell. So God had some cooling
Oh,
water because
that's funny.
he let me come out of it. So
Okay.
no, but thank you for saying that, and that's interesting how you deal with children, and I think that'll
And
work with
you know what
everybody.
people used to say, and this with everything, but it was with me, it was with children, because children have a sense. They could sense if you good, if you coming from a good place, because they got to feel comfortable around you.
Yes,
But you,
Absolutely.
agree.
but you
And I
got,
think adults too.
but they
I
don't
think
ever forget how you make them feel.
yeah, yeah.
That was one thing that
So do you think if you don't get that as a child, you grow up as an adult and you still
still
fiend
search for that. Yeah,
search for that? Yeah.
you're still looking
Because
for
that's
it.
what I said to her. I said, your attitude and the way you make me feel. So I'm
Okay.
still go by if somebody's nice. So I'm thinking that come from
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
because that means a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
People that treat me good. I'm not saying you have to. It's a certain way you act, and it draws me.
Uh huh.
It draws me to feel comfortable to
Mm-hmm.
talk,
Mm-hmm.
to say something. There's a lot of people I be around. Not that nothing's wrong, but I don't feel welcome.
There you go.
It's not a welcoming
Yeah, you
spirit.
don't feel
So I won't
welcome.
say that. But when I feel like you really have my interest at heart, or feel what I stutter a lot, like I'm nervous. Somebody that understands that and say, go for it. She pushes me a lot. She know all my weakness.
Mm-hmm.
But there's people know your weakness and they still make you feel bad. You know what I'm saying? Like you say with children, they know if you're honest, they know if you're sincere, they can feel it's something you feel. You don't have to, you can smile and be nasty.
Yep.
Yeah. What's not what you say is the way you say it.
Yeah. So I learned something tonight, Gil. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Your gift is needed in the body of Christ, it's needed in the world. It's a needed gift. Someone who is graced for that.
You have a card?
Do I have a card? I have to get a card. I don't have. I need
Don't
to.
worry about it because she told me to give
She
me a
told me.
card.
She
Yeah.
told. Oh, that's
Yeah.
one of her things.
See
Tried
what
she tried to
see what your office hours are.
I would have been
she
like,
tried, she
here,
tried, and
here you
she
go.
gonna give it to her. No, but if anything else you want to say that you feel is important, go ahead. This the camera right here. You
Oh,
can look into the camera.
I don't know. I think I enjoyed this conversation. You encouraged me. I learned a lot from both of y'all. It's like, and, now I'm gonna look forward to always still learning from both. Because you are y'all just encouragement. It's just and it's so. I just see the layers of just different things. But I really, I enjoyed it.
So did you get over your nervousness?
Yeah, I
Okay.
got over it.
So she told us when she came she was nervous. I said, no, it's
I
just
was
sitting
like,
on the couch. That's why we
we
laid
just
before you.
couch talk.
Couch talk. But is people don't understand. I don't have no for. I know there's podcasts and stuff that talking this got to be a certain way. You know,
Hmm.
I told God I'm just gonna be raw. I don't have a certain way. I'm drinking. There's water. There's
Hmm.
some people that got the comfortability come with being just real. Relax.
That's
The
why I like it.
conversation is what I'm getting. Now you can have all the professionalism and doing all that, and I don't get nothing out of nothing. But as I said, feel comfortable, whatever you want. And I welcome people to my home. I welcome people to my life
Hmm.
because I was that person.
Yep.
Okay.
I was that person that
Hmm.
felt. I'm only trying to tell you what's going on with me. Why you treat me like this?
Right.
Why? So I vow to God, I would never do another person like that.
You get more bees with honey.
Mm.
Like sometimes when you go to some of these offices where you go in there to get help and they act like the assistants that you're applying for belong to them
Hmm.
and they treat you
Yeah.
bad because
Hmm.
you say you need help. It'll make you feel some type of way. But that's even people period, whether you got God or not, people if people are your business, people should be treated that way. Even in customer service they taught us enter on human, go to business, and finish on human. Ask a person how they doing. You cannot be too professional to say how your day is.
Hmm.
You know, and then you find out what the issue is, what they're here for, and then finish on him. And you don't have to, like they gotta beg you for service, or you got it all wrapped up because it's my day today, but it could be yours tomorrow.
Mhm.
And we ought to treat people like the golden rule: do unto others
Yes.
as
Right.
you would have them to do unto you.
Every
So
day.
we make a platform. Share your story, tell your truth, because at one time we couldn't tell the truth, but on this podcast we do.
Mm. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome that you couldn't. Now you look, and then so many people can say, because when I watched, like I said, I watched a couple episodes, and that's what I said. It seems so comfortable. You just sitting around talking, on the couch.
Yeah. People want to hear it because they're suffering from something, but nobody won't be honest.
Right.
I don't know if like it's from embarrassment. We done a lot of things that just wasn't godly.
Hmm.
I haven't always been in church,
I wasn't always in church
but I
either.
was raised in church. You get what I'm saying? I
Okay.
ain't always knew God. I was
Right.
in church.
Right.
So I don't have this a difference from the world in church because I was the world in church.
Mm.
My dad used to say, "Come out from among you can't be hanging with everybody." I say, "Pops, if you knew what I was doing, you'd tell them not to hang with me."
Mm. Mm.
Let's be real.
Right.
I was doing something some of the sinners wasn't doing. He tells us to come out from them. Like you should be watching what. But I learned from that. Tell the truth. Sounds bad. Tell the truth.
Hmm.
But we teach people to lie when
Yeah.
we
Sneak
make
around.
them be
Yeah.
all the rules, the regular. We
Yeah.
know we gotta have boundaries,
Yeah.
but when you got that thing that is forced, you make people live a lie. You make people tell a lie.
Hmm.
And I think God will bring us up where we need to be. Just keep on standing. But
Yeah,
God knows I wasn't nowhere when I
yeah,
was 15. He knew that you
man,
might not know it, but he already knew. He knows everything. So
Mm.
he gave me grace.
Right.
yeah,
But people didn't.
yeah.
But God did. But you know what? We ain't gonna keep her much longer. It's getting dark. I don't know how far she got to drive, but this has been a blessing. You got to come back.
Oh,
You got to
I
come back
will.
and
And I,
teach a lesson on wisdom, whatever that is. That it's not counseling. She gonna tell you that you come back from me. I'm saying if that's how it's gonna be, you can come back from me.
all right.
But I
All
think
right.
it's needed in the
You
body of
can put
Christ.
another label on it.
What?
No, I'm saying you can
She wants you to psych me out to be
reverse
like I'm not.
psychology.
Oh, okay.
Like you did those children. I need some help,
It's all
and
right.
then you doing great. Just make it be something else,
Okay.
but it
Okay.
had to be geared for her. That's all.
Okay. Now, do
Okay.
you sing?
I I do like, yeah, I would be look, I don't know why I'm acting shy. I ain't gonna grab in front of the mic, but
Okay,
I
go
like
ahead.
to hide in the background.
Look right in that mic and sing a
With
song.
but I
Whatever
don't know
song
what
you want
song.
to sing, we're gonna end it on your song.
Wait a minute, because y'all want to sing with me?
Yeah, I back you up, but you lead it, and
I don't
I
know
I
what
don't- I,
Jesus
I didn't
on the
break.
main line. Tell him what you want. Jesus on the main line. Tell him what you want. Help me out. Jesus, I don't because that's all the words I know.
Yeah.
Tell him what you want.
I'm helping you up with a practice. We always have fun.
This
Laughter,
was fun.
laughter
Laughter
medicine.
is.
It's a medicine for me.
Mhm, mhm.
So
Oh
if you
goodness.
can't laugh and have fun, I don't know what else. I joke, I play, and I go hard with everything else, but I take time to laugh
Yeah.
and have some fun.
Yeah.
So thank you for laughing with us. Thank you for the
Thank you
song.
for having me for
Yeah.
laughing.
And I want you to shout out your church and your pastor. If y'all don't have no place you go, where you located? Where
Oh,
you at?
we're no problem. Word of Faith Outreach and Deliverance Ministries, 21 Main Street in Darby, PA. We're the first church you come in if you entering from Philly side, and we're the last church if you coming out of Darby into Philly. But we do we have our leadership is under Apostle Lampkin and Patricia Lampkin, Pastor Patricia Lampkin. You can always join us for our Bible studies. We have them from 7:45 on Tuesdays to
Mhm.
about 8:30. We have prayer. You can even get us on a prayer for. We have prayer on 7 from 7:30 to 7:45.
Mhm.
7 to 7:30. I'm sorry, I'm getting mixed up. But our Bible study starts on Tuesdays at 7:45. But you can always join us. You can go on to our website, Word of Faith Outreach and Deliverance Ministries. Like I said, we have midnight prayer every first Friday of the month. And our Bible studies Tuesdays, and we have our women's Beyond Woman meetings. That's the third Wednesday of the month, and then even the men they meet every third Saturday of the month.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And lost my train of thought. Something I was good. Something you said. Oh, you could be found on YouTube,
Facebook and YouTube and Facebook.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
Well, Gail, this has been real. I appreciate you, sis. And if you have any parting words that you want to say, besides, don't say nothing about me. Just say some parting words. To look at the camera and say what you got to say.
No, this has definitely been.
Talk about her.
This has definitely been great. There are things that you did share. You can use in all parts of your life. You don't have to be a child.
Mm-hmm.
Can be and just some things that to help us to develop and lessen our stress. Go to a paint class. Get your mind off of stuff. Go to a paint so it reduce stress, depression, all those things that you keep inside and worried about
Mm-hmm.
your emotions. Just start painting. Arts is therapeutic, like you
Yes.
said. It's a lot of things that uh, don't hold the responsibility or accountability because it's just how children are.
Mm-hmm.
They're just free to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sometimes we need to be a Chuck E. Cheese thing is where a kid can be a kid.
Yes.
Sometimes you need to have those kid days where you just laugh. And so I'm grateful, I'm thankful. Just call me and let me know when you want to set the appointment up.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, let me know when
Not a
you
problem.
what's your office hours.
I will let her slide today. But family, we thank you. We thank you for joining us on the Raw Podcast, where we try to be as open as we can about any subject. And as she said today, use wisdom, but be truthful.
Yeah.
Don't think it's only for children.
Mm-hmm.
It's for us too.
Yep.
Because we once was kids.
Yeah.
And if you didn't get fixed and healed as a child,
Yes.
you still carry that as an adult.
Right.
That's
so
right.
we give God the praise. And as we always end our podcast and saying,
Love God, love family, work hard, and be kind.
We thank you, sister.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. So as we end this, we're gonna just tell you that was Let's Talk on the Couch. Thank you so much.